I was talking. I was somebody had called me from Virginia, but they live, but no, from Africa, but they live in Virginia, but they from Kenya. So a guy and his wife, and they have 5 babies. They was like, "Oh my God, brother, I can't believe what you're doing. Like everything you're doing and saying is what we've been saying for the longest." Because he was telling me how when foreigners come to America, they see all the potential. It's obvious to them. It's kind of like, I don't know, somebody go to their country, which might be like a beautiful island or a beautiful area, or they running around just free, and we go over there and we appreciate their freedom, right? We appreciate their tropical island, whatever. To them, it's like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to America, and we're like, no, you don't want to go to America, you know. So we want to go to each other's place. So they like when they come here, they see all the opportunity and all the money to be made, and just everything that's just right there in their face. So they was explaining to me how when they got here, she was working, they was both making minimum wage when they first came to America. And they was able to buy, the first thing they did was buy some land. They said that's the first thing they did, was buy some land. They did not even like think about a house or anything. That's the first thing they did. They bought some land. They bought a camper RV, like what I got, a camper, and they lived in it. Now they have a house on the land, but basically they did the whole thing, the whole process, what I've been telling people to do. And right now they say they don't go to the grocery store at all. At all. They're on a well, they grow their own food, everything. Everything. They're supposed to send me some pictures. I'm still waiting on them. I don't know if they're gonna send them, but they was telling me basically in America, everybody's doing everything backwards. But we was telling each other, because I was saying some stuff too. Everybody doing everything backwards. So basically, and Miss Annie, y'all did everything right. So you didn't do it. You didn't do it backwards. Y'all did everything right when y'all bought the land and built y'all house. But he said for the most part, most people, what they do is they get out of school. Most people just don't know anything. So we just automatically feel like it's normal to buy a house and pay 30-year mortgage or rent. Like we literally feel like it's normal. Like that is normal. Like we literally feel like somebody living in the woods, that person's crazy. Like most people literally feel like that. Like I could remember, being a young man, and a dude even told me, "Hey man, let's go buy some trailers on the beach. I know we could buy some trailers 1,500 cheap." And I thought he was crazy. Them same trailers right now worth hundreds of thousands. I thought the guy was crazy. I'm like, man, I'm not buying no trailer. I'm not buying no trailer, much less living in no trailer. And I was renting at the time. And he's telling me for what I was paying in 3 months rent, I could have bought my own home on the beach, like literally like 5-10 minutes from the beach, 5 minutes, 3 minutes from the beach. And I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. The reason why is the brainwashing is that deep. We can't see it. We can't see it. Just like somebody living in the islands or some beautiful place, they can't see how beautiful their place is. We foreigners going there, we see it. And foreigners coming here, seeing all the opportunity that we can't see because we're so busy programmed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a real thing that nobody could see. So when I heard a story about them on minimum wage, working on minimum wage, he was like, was making 7.25 an hour. He was working in a gas station, and I forget where she was working, but they was both just making minimum wage. And the first thing they did was buy some land. They was living with I think one of them, their sisters, somebody's sister, and then they saved their money. And the first thing they did, they bought some land in Virginia for $10,000. It's 2 acres they was able to buy back then for $10,000. They lived on it the same way they would live in Africa. And they said they still live off grid. They don't have no regular electricity. They got solar panels, candles, and they have a well. And I'm like, wow. In America? He's like, yeah, we live like that in America. In Virginia. Right? This is not what tonight's class is about, but this is just a little side story I'm telling y'all. Then he was like, what we taught in America is for the people that teach us this stuff. The whole school system, everything we learn is for people, others to make money. That's all it's for. Like you go buy a $100,000 Mercedes and somebody else go buy a $1,000 used car. I guarantee you both will get at the same place dang near at the same time. One might feel a little bit more comfortable than the other getting there, but I guarantee you're going to get there at the same place at the same time. He's like, it's literally just a programming to make other people rich. And if we get out of this programming, we can make ourselves rich. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, right now, they barely work. He might work 2-3 days a week. She don't work at all. They have 5 babies. He do kind of like what I do, handyman and stuff. And their land is obviously paid off, everything paid off. They don't have to go to a grocery store. They're not on Section 8. They're not on food stamps. They're not on anything. And all you could tell me is, I don't understand. I don't understand Americans. I don't understand. That's all he kept saying. I don't understand. You know, he don't understand why people living off the government. He's like, it's so easy. It's so easy once you get your land. And then I was adding to it that, yeah, what happens is we're so programmed that we actually go to school and come out of school. And then once we come out of school, we still have to find a job. And then we got to pay back that school loan. And we might find a job, be working, then realize we need another job. Right? So we need 2 jobs. Or in that process, we realize, hey, we need to go back to school to get another education, to make more money. But what people don't realize is the more money you make, the more money they take. The more money you make is the more money they take. The more you work, that's more money you got to spend on gas. That's less time with your babies and your spouse and loved ones. That's more money. That's sooner. So if you work in one job and you put 20,000 miles on your car, now you work in 2 jobs. Now you might be putting 30,000 miles on your car. So you need tires sooner, oil change sooner. You need everything sooner. So you working that second, third job is literally pointless in most cases. It's literally pointless. But most people don't realize it. Like you might be making 40,000 a year, and you like, oh, I'm gonna work a second job, make an extra 10,000 a year. When you really add it up after taxes, they take 30-some%. So say that's 7,000 a year. Then half of that going towards the extra money spending on gas, sooner repairs, all this type of stuff. You really might be making an extra few $1,000s a year. You know, it's not even worth it. Then you paying on this house that essentially by the time you finish paying it off, you have to sell it or refinance it if you have anything in it, because now you got to pay all these medical bills because you're older, and you have to pay all these medical bills because you was working so much, killing your body, eating poisonous food, and then by the time you realize that, you're so much older and the damage is already done. You know, that's literally what happened to me. Eating fast because I did construction for so long, eating fast, eating different foods and stuff like that, eating off food trucks, um, really not eating much fruits and vegetables, you know. Eventually it caught up to me and I was suffering. My body was poisoning itself for 10, probably 15 years. I didn't even know. It was slowly poisoning it. I was so slowly poisoning myself. I did not even know. Okay. Lost a lot of time with my sons, even lost time with my daughter when she was a baby, just lost a lot of time. And it wasn't even worth it. It wasn't even worth it. Just to be sick enough to be in a hospital to get my gallbladder worked on, then 2 years later get it removed, and in that whole process almost losing everything that I had killed myself to build, about to lose it. Basically the same thing that I was doing to gain it is the same thing that was causing me to lose it, you know. So it was just like a paradigm shift in my mind, like, okay, somebody get it. Like, I'm not crazy. Like, somebody see the whole matrix, the whole programming, how they have everybody programmed out here. Like y'all see me in t-shirts. That's all I wear is t-shirts. That's all I wear is t-shirts. A $2, $1 t-shirt. Sometimes I buy these in Roses somewhere for 99 cents, right? You see billionaires, Elon Musk, that's all he wears t-shirts. This guy's in a White House with a dang t-shirt. You people might wonder why people, that can afford whatever, a $50 clean, decent shirt and suit, $100, $200 suit, they always in t-shirts, because we see the matrix for what it is. You just need a clothes on your body. You just need a piece of clothes to cover your body. All this extra stuff that they sell us is literally just to make somebody rich. That's all it is. All this extra stuff is literally, don't y'all know Mercedes is not even really a luxury car? You know what they use Mercedes for in London and other countries? Cheap taxis. Did y'all know that? You go to Europe, some places in Europe, some luxury brands that we call luxury here, they use them for taxis over there. They got cars that look just like a Rolls Royce. They use it for taxis over there. Yeah. Like what we think is so valuable and we spend so much money for it is literally not even worth it. All this cheap stuff we buy, because I was somewhere not too long ago and I was like, dang, that's like 30 cents in China somewhere to buy it. And then I was watching some videos and how China's exposing how cheap things are and how crazy the markups are. These Louis Vuitton purses are like $30 to manufacture, but they charge like $3,000 for them. And I'm like, yeah. In my mind, I'm like, because I see it so clearly, but most people cannot see it. We're literally just constantly giving away our wealth, giving it away. Like here, work so hard, make your little $500,000 a week paycheck, and literally every penny of it just goes. Now we gotta wait for another check. Everybody just living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. And then even worse, if you're buying cigarettes and alcohol, even worse, because that's definitely not doing nothing for nobody. But But anyway, I just wanted to throw some little stuff in there about that conversation. We're gonna get started with tonight's class. Anybody have any questions, comments, want to add to that? And we're gonna get started. So what tonight class is about, somebody say, I do remodeling, moved into a truck in January to save money. Best move I've done. Gotta work more on health though. I get it. Absolutely, Max 888. Yeah, man. So what we're gonna talk about tonight, guys, is actually the back end of setting up yourself for financial stability. We're going to talk about the back end. When you guys walk outside, when you driving around, especially in the city or even out here in the country, I drive right down the street. First thing I see on my right hand side is a Dollar General. On my left hand side is another store. Down the road is a gas station. When y'all riding around, I know y'all don't even realize, but all you see is businesses. Everywhere, everything is literally a business. The home you live in, that's a business for somebody. Somebody's either making interest off of it if you're financing it. Somebody's either collecting rent off of it if you're paying rent, or somebody's collecting taxes off of it. Either way. All right? It's a business to somebody. Everything is a business. Why are we not doing business? Why are we not doing business? Okay, I get it, Dragon. We need to do business. How can we do business? You have to start looking at everything you do as business. We have to. We got to stop thinking everything is personal, because it's not. It's literally not. It's not. Everything we do is business. Your marriage is a business. You got married for love, supposedly, but really, if that person ain't chipping in financially, it's a wrap in most cases. It is a wrap in most cases, no matter how much you love each other. If that person's not chipping in financially, it's a wrap. Am I right about it? Okay. So you can't tell me your relationships is not a business. Okay. When you have a baby, yeah, you bring life into this world. You want a baby to love you and you love it and grow up and everything like that. But you really subconsciously, you don't even realize it. You brought a baby in this world because it's a business. You brought a baby in this world because subconsciously, you know you're going to get older. And as you get older, you need to pass your legacy on. Okay? And you need somebody to take care of you when you get older. Okay? So you're not even realizing that you're incubating, feeding, nourishing a business. You're raising a business. You're raising somebody that hopefully will grow up to be productive enough to help you in your old age and to take over whatever you had going on. Okay? That's subconsciously why we have offsprings. Okay? It's really not just to, and I know some people just have babies to have babies and don't take care of them and all that type of stuff. But at the core of it, that is why we are supposed to have babies, and subconsciously why we have babies. Okay? So everything is literally a business. Everything is literally a business. Everybody's doing business, but poor people, struggling, let me say struggling people. This is why people struggle. because they're looking at everything too personal. We're looking at everything too personal. We taking everything too personal. You know, it's really a business we're supposed to be doing. So if we're doing business, and most people should know, when you have a business, you pay less taxes than when you make money from your business, you pay less taxes than when you work a W-2. When you work a W-2, you pay like 30 something or 50% in taxes when you work in a W-2 job. When you have a business, not only do you pay way less taxes, like 20% income tax, but you could tell them what you made. You tell them what you made. You can make up any number. Right now, even if I made 10,000 for the year, I could say I made 100,000. Yeah, I have to pay taxes on $100,000, but on paper, I made $100,000. Well, where are the receipts? Hey, I collect cash. A lot of my customers pay me cash. If I make 100,000 for the year, I could say, man, I only made 10,000. Yeah, but all these receipts, paperwork say you made 100,000. Yeah, but gas, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. It's whatever I say. Okay. But more importantly, it's the structure. Okay. We got to talk about the structure. All right. You have so many structures. You got people that just go out and sell water in the streets, do hair, do nails, collect money. They just collect money, hustle in the streets, whatever. They might or might not put their money in a bank and have a record of it. Okay, that's a business, but it's not structured properly to really scale. Okay, yeah, they're not paying no taxes, so they're not worried about paying taxes or anything. They're not worried about, anything coming back, as far as taxes, because they're not paying anything out. Okay. They pretty much just living life kind of sovereign. Okay. So you have those people. Then you have people like, okay, yeah, I know I need a LLC, whatever, S corp, whatever. Let me file that. I know I need an EIN number. Let me do that. Let me have a business account. Let me run everything through my business. But they don't run everything through their business. Okay. They still pay their mortgage under their personal name. They still pay their rent under their personal name. They still got their car note under their personal name. They still swiping their debit cards, credit cards under their personal name. Okay. Then you got some people even a little bit smarter. They might be like, hey, man, I found out about this trust stuff. We got to put everything in a trust. Okay, so they might put the land in a trust, businesses in a trust, cars, everything in a trust, right? Or shoot, they might say put everything in an LLC. Okay. And that's still not all the way right. Okay. I even had to learn this. Okay. I'm not going to get too deep with it, but ultimately what I'm getting at is that when we realize that everything is a business, okay, and this is how the elites think of everything. That's why they look at us as a business. This is why our names is in all caps on our driver's license, because they don't look at us as a human living man or woman. They look at us as an entity, as a business. That's something that makes money. Okay. That's why when you die, they call it a corpse, a dead corporation. A dead corporation. Okay. When you enter this world, you enter a dock. Just like a boat enter a dock, you enter a doctor's office. Okay. You come down the birth canal. The canal is where the boats and ships come in for commerce. Okay. They literally just looking at you like a new shipment coming in. They tag you with a certificate of birth, just like they tag stuff with a certificate when they come in from other countries, give it a number, social security number. It entered this world or this country, and it's here doing commerce. Okay, this is how they look at you. We don't. We the only ones don't look at it like that. Okay, we the only ones don't look at it like that. And I get it. We're natural men and women. We just want to live. We just want to eat and live and be happy. Okay, but it is what it is. We live in a world where we have to do commerce. We have to do business. It is what it is. Okay. With that being said, we have to think, I cannot stress this enough. We have to think of everything like a business. We have to. Okay. They even tell you, hey, if you go on vacation with your family, your husband, wife, and y'all talk about business for 5 minutes, that was now a business trip. You could write your whole trip off. Hey, if you go to dinner, breakfast, lunch, and y'all talk about business for 5 minutes, hey, that's not a business lunch. You could write that lunch off. They even tell us. I know everybody's heard that before. Why are we not actually doing it? Why do we have personal debit cards and credit cards? Yes, I'm literally telling you guys, we literally need to not have anything in our personal government names. It is literally hurting us, literally hurting us, having everything in our personal name, literally hurting us to the point when you have babies, your baby's born, they get their birth certificate, all this type of stuff. That same week, month, whatever, soon as you get a chance, you need to call a IRS, if we have IRS in the future, and you need to get them an EIN number. This is how serious it is. You need to set your babies up with an EIN number. Okay? At first, it's going to be attached to their social security number because obviously IRS is going to ask for a social security number. All right? What's going to happen is you're not going to use their social security number for anything. You're going to use their EIN number for everything. Obviously, some cases you are going to have to use social security number, medical stuff and all that type of stuff. But when it's definitely possible, you want to use their EIN number. For example, if you're the type of mother or father that want to set up a bank account for your babies, a college fund, an investment, you want to buy them some stocks or whatever, or anything like that, you use the EIN number. Okay. Number one, they have a EIN number, which is ultimately the business. From birth to 1819, that's a 18, 19-year-old corporation. That's an 18, 19-year-old business. You know what that looks like and means on paper? That's a wonderful thing. They could just having that alone, and it's had activity of a bank account and money going in and out of the bank account, an actual business with money going in and out of it like a bank account. Your offspring can sell that entity, that business, as an aged business. Just having that, you gave them an asset. Just having an EIN number, you've given them an asset. Okay. Now, however the business is structured, as far as if it's in a trust, a LLC, S Corp, C Corp, all that type of stuff, that's another class. So I'm not going to get into that. I do recommend trusts. You start them off with a trust bank account. You call IRS, say, hey, I want to open a trust bank account. What all do I need? Okay, what's the name of the trust? Blah, blah, blah. Who's basically going to be on it? Okay. What's the name? Social, blah, blah, blah. They just set it all up for you. You get an EIN number, send you the paperwork. You go to the bank, open a account. They're going to ask you, hey, when are you going to fund the account? You know, oh, tomorrow, next week, whatever, next month, whatever. All right. What a trust bank account is an account. It's like any other trust. A trust has what? A trustee, beneficiaries, okay, a grantor. What that means is if a person is incapacitated or passed away, that bank account can still do business or whatever it needs to do. For example, I pass away, but I left $1 million in a trust bank account. I have a trustee that I left to oversee it, and I have beneficiaries, my offsprings. They really the owner of the bank account, beneficiaries. But that $1 million is not for them to go wilding out. That $1 million is to pay the taxes on properties I left, cut the grass, anything that needs to be done, even give them an allowance, whatever needs to be done. That's what that bank account is for. Okay. You can't do that with a regular bank account. I mean, you can if you give the person, hey, your debit card and your account information, but it's better to set it up in a trust bank account because the structure is there. You have to have a trustee, you have to have beneficiaries. When you have a regular bank account, it's just whoever's on that bank account. Okay. When you have a business bank account, it's just whoever is on that bank account. Okay. When you have a trust bank account, you can switch out beneficiaries privately. You can switch trustees. You can do more faster, and it's designed specifically for business being handled, whether you dead or alive, incapacitated or not. Okay. If you incapacitated or dead, or if you incapacitated, they want you to sign a power of attorney. Okay. If you dead, you dead. Now your family members got to figure out how to pull the money out your account. Okay. Otherwise, the bank keep all your money. All right. Right now, my mom got a bunch of money in her bank account. We can't even access it. She has dementia. She don't even remember her PIN number or anything. Okay. But that's a whole nother story. So, and see, we don't know which bank. We don't know. It's a lot of stuff my mom just kept secrets, you know. So as soon as you can, you and everybody in your family members need to have a EIN number, whatever the structure is, as far as a trust, LLC, all that type of stuff. That's another video. We'll go through that another time. But the most important thing you need is an EIN number. Now there's other numbers. Okay, a Duns and Bradstreet number. What do they call it? Some type of 98 numbers. There's other type of numbers and stuff like that. Me personally, I just know EIN number. I'm learning about all that other stuff. Okay, I'm learning about all them other numbers you can have, but you start off with an EIN number. Ultimately, all that other stuff is, you know, when you get $100 million, like high level type of stuff you're doing, right? So once you have this, okay, what happens is eventually your social security number falls off. If the EIN number is doing banking, if the EIN number bought a car, if the EIN number has a light bill, water bill, utilities, renting an apartment, the EIN number got debit cards, credit cards, all this type of stuff, and it's building up its own credit and identity and how you say a status. Eventually, what happens is the social security number falls off. Okay, your family members, your offsprings eventually will never have to use their social security number again. Okay, pretty much just for really personal things like medical. Okay, but as far as everything else, don't have to use a social security number again. And that's how you want it. This is how you want it. Okay. This is exactly how you want to set up your life. All right. You think any rich and powerful person literally have a car in their personal name? Literally have a house in their person? I mean, some do. Okay. I'll say that. But really high level, intelligent people, do you think Barack Obama, Donald Trump, um, whoever even whatever, Eddie Murphy, Diana Ross, whoever you could think of, you think they literally riding around with a car right now and it's in their personal name? They living in a house right now, it's in their personal. Like you literally think you can just go and look up their name and find out where they live, right? If they smart, you can't. The average person just can't. Even though we know where they live, we know the car they drive. The idea is it's not in their name, not their personal name. It's all in trusts. It's all in trusts. All of it. Everything they own is in a trust, from their bank account, their automobiles, their houses. Everything is in trust accounts and corporate accounts and all this type of stuff. Then when they get even deeper into it, all of that is in holding companies and all that. I was watching something. They were saying how even their names, like Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter, Blue Ivy, her name is copyrighted. That's a whole nother thing, is copyrighting your name. Shaquille O'Neal was talking about that when he learned about copyrighting his name. That's another thing we need to do. Our personal name, we need to copyright it. Because when you copyright something, you own it. You own it, right? So somebody was trying to use that name Blue Ivy, and Jay-Z and Beyonce was trying to say, no, you can't use that name. That's an exclusive name. We even picked that name because it's exclusive. We could have named her Barbara, Deborah, Mary Sue. No, we picked Blue Ivy because nobody has that name and we want to keep it that way. And I think some lady was trying to do a wedding or it's a wedding company or something and call it that name. Long story short, the super elites, even down to their names, they set it up as an exclusive ownership business to themselves or property to themselves. Okay? This is how we have to structure our lives. Most people are losing because they're putting everything in your personal name. Now you got bad credit. You got to fix your credit. You got to do all of this, do all of that. You're personally liable for all of this stuff. Okay? In some cases, just not paying debt and credit cards, they put you in jail in some cases and in some places. Okay? Meanwhile, you might see somebody owe $10 million and all they do is file bankruptcy and no jail time, no nothing. You're like, how is this possible? I only owe this credit card $1,800 and they cancel the driver's license or whatever they do. Okay? Because I've heard some cases. Somebody told me they definitely went to court for some bill, some credit card for like $1,800. I don't know what happened, but just the idea of going to court for a daggone credit card is ridiculous to me. But this is what's happening, okay? But these things happen because everything is in our personal name. My son found out about it just not too long ago. I told him, which we already had set up his EIN and everything. I said, go straight to the bank and set up a business bank account and only use that business bank account. Close all your personal accounts. Nobody should have a personal account. If you have a personal account that you've had for years, I get it. Keep that. I'm not going to tell you to close those accounts. Okay, so let me kind of retract that statement. But don't open any new personal accounts. Let me say that. Don't open any new personal accounts. The ones you've already had for years and decades and established and everything like that, you keep that. Okay, that's established. But don't open any new personal accounts. Any new accounts you open need to be business accounts. It all needs to be business accounts. Even if you copyright your name, even if you put Mary Sue Trust and Mary Sue is your real government name because you want to use your personal name, then that's how you do it. You go open a trust and call it Mary Sue Trust, or open an LLC and call it Mary Sue LLC. Okay? But it needs to have a structure with an EIN attached to it. Okay? And you buy everything under that. Everything under that. For some reason, in our minds, we feel like when we do that, we don't own it. We don't have ownership. We feel like it have to be in our natural name. It's not in your natural name. Yes, Mary Sue or James Tony is your natural name. But if you look at your ID, everything is in all capital letters. So when you go open that bank account, when you go buy that property, that house, that car, notice on all the paperwork, everything is in all capital letters. That's not your natural name. That's not your natural you. They are setting it up for you. When they give you your ID, they're taking care of you. They're giving you a business and you don't even know it. Okay? They're giving you a business and you don't even know. I was listening to a video earlier Rwanda sent. The lady said the word sovereign meant like solve your own problems, and reign means to reign, like you reign like a king or queen. So when you say you're sovereign, you need to know how to solve your own problems and reign like a king or a queen. How can you say you're sovereign? You can't even handle your own business. You can't even handle your own personal affairs. They say ignorance of the law is no excuse. And the more and more I live, I see that. Everybody just out here getting their ID, their social security number, saying, here, this is what the government gave me. I need a job, go work for somebody. I need an apartment, put that in my personal name. I'll pay you rent. I'll go work hard, pay you rent. I'll go buy food. Everybody just out here doing what they're told. Nobody's really being sovereign. When you are really sovereign, you know how to tell everybody what to do. You know how to handle your business. You know how to say, hey, I want to come in this bank and I want to set up this account and I want it to go like this. Okay. I want to set up this EIN number and I want, when the money hit this account, for it to be divided so and so and so in this way, and switch over to that account and this account, and this bill get paid and that bill get paid. And then you pretty much, honestly, you're pretty much doing what you already do, what most of us already do, set everything on automatic and all of this and all of that. And we could be our own trustees for everything, our own trustees for our bank accounts, our land, our everything. So it's not like you're handing over the power to do stuff to anybody else. You're just doing it in a way now where you actually have ownership. Because when you don't copyright your name, okay, when you don't keep your social security number private, you're giving your social security number to everybody. Did y'all know we shouldn't even be giving our social security number to everybody? We shouldn't be giving it to the bank. We shouldn't be giving it to the car lot people. We give our social security number to everybody and for everything. Did y'all know we're not even supposed to be doing that? And this is the point that one of the points I'm trying to make. Your social security number is a private number you should be keeping to yourself. It should really only be for medical uses. The light company shouldn't have it. The phone company shouldn't have it. The mortgage company shouldn't have it. These are all private businesses. Really, your car dealership, that's a private business. Your mortgage companies, that's a private business. Your banks, they're private businesses. Credit bureaus, they're private business, have nothing to do with the government. Um, Obviously, light companies, water companies, all private businesses really have nothing to do with the government. Okay, your social security number is a number the government gave you, so really that should only be geared towards things that have to do with the government. Your social security checks, your Medicare, Medicaid, things like that. When you go to the car dealership and they ask you for a social security number, you should look at them like they crazy. When you go to the bank and they ask you for a social security number, you should look at them like they crazy. What are you asking me for my personal business for? Here's my EIN documents. Run that number. You see I have credit because I done had this bank account, and I had this bank account for 18 years. My mom and dad opened this account, and they established a bank account for me and ran money through there and got a secured debit card from me or a credit card from me. And now um, I've had credit for 18 years and whatever, $100,000 in what they call reoccurring, how it reoccurs. Okay. You don't need my social security number. They're going to say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Because once that EIN number done built up so much traction or history, once that EIN number done built up so much history, they're not looking at your social security number anymore. The only reason they're looking at your social security number because that's the only number we use. That's the only number we use, and we need to stop using it. It's strictly for government business. Personal business is not to go buy a car, buy a house, open credit cards, all that stuff. I know this is new to most people. It was new to me when I heard it. I was like, what? Why is nobody talking about this? Why is nobody teaching it? And in the back of my mind, it makes sense. Because all big business people are doing it. You think Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, any of these people going to the bank and saying, here's my social security number, going to a car lot saying, here's my social security number, going to buy a house, say, here's my social security number? No. Why are we? Oh, because I'm just a regular guy, they rich. No. This is where it starts, by being a regular man, regular woman. Setting it up for your babies. This is where it starts. We have to stop thinking ignorantly. Even the Bible tell you, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Ignorance is expensive. I know we hear that all the time, and it's true. We have to sit down, settle down, and start to think. Okay? We have to sit down, settle down, and start to think. Okay? We got to stop running around here, watching all these prank videos and whatever we do, and soap operas and whatever we do, and sports and music videos. We got to stop being entertained and start to think. We have to buckle down and start to think. And we got to start doing business. This is so serious. We got to start doing business. Okay. And once we have all this stuff set up like a business like that, okay, and we know we're about to transition, we don't have to go to the government and the courthouses. Our loved ones don't have to go to the government and the courthouses and do probate and all this foolishness, because we already have our businesses set up. So we transition or we get incapacitated, our loved ones could just keep doing business as usual. Okay? When we transcend and die, okay, the real corporation, if we don't pay any bills, on that corporation, the EIN number, it dies. We're not personally liable. Okay, my loved ones could bury me without worried about that $100,000, $200,000 bill that I left. It wasn't even in my name. It wasn't a business name. Okay, which I'm just saying if they don't want to, but obviously, you know, whatever bills is left, you should already have everything set up for things to still get paid and your loved ones to take over and whatever. Okay. Any questions, any comments? I know y'all got some questions like, what is he talking about? What is this? What do you mean I need to not do anything personal? Any questions, any comments? Some of y'all, I know you don't heard this before, but some of y'all didn't. Any questions, any comments? Okay, so now when we go buy our land, right? Like I'm teaching y'all, we already know we have to buy our land in a what? Trust. We're not putting our land in our personal name. Why? Why can't I put my land in my name? I want it in my name. Okay, when you go buy a $50,000 piece of land and you pay it off, and then shortly after that, you in a car accident, you hit somebody, not you personally, let me not say you, but for example, you know, somebody get hit, whatever, and you liable because you did it, and the lawyer's looking up everything you own, and they see it's in your, oh, they got some property over here. Damn, that thing worth $50,000. They coming after that asset. They coming after that. But if it's in Jack, if it's in Trash Can Trust or whatever trust name you got, they don't know what you own. The goal is to control everything and own nothing. Nothing. When you got 2-3 baby mamas out there and they collecting child support on you, okay? All right, they coming after your assets. They will seize your assets, male or female. Shoot, you got a ex-husband, baby daddy out there, and you got to pay child support as a woman, and they find out you got a $50,000 piece of land. They coming after that. It's in your personal name. It's in your government name. Okay? Right now, you look at my personal name, you will not find anything. You will not find anything. Everything is in a trust. Okay? And I 100% own it. Nothing or nobody can take it away. You have more ownership when you own things in a trust than when you own it in your personal name. When you own it in your personal name, again, the all caps name, the government owns it with you. The government owns it with you. When you own it in a trust, you own it privately. Those trust documents are private documents. You own it privately.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Who's that? Miss Annie? Go ahead.
If say one of these scenarios happen and they ask you, do you own a trust? What do you say?
Do you own a trust? You could say yes. You could say yes. Be honest with you. Let's say hypothetically it happens, right? And you are the trustee. You are the trustee of the trust. You don't say you own the trust. You don't say you own the trust. You say, I'm just the trustee. You don't say I own the trust. Okay? You don't say I own the trust. Now, if it's a situation where, you know, it's not like you being liable for anything. You know, it might be a situation where it's something private. Okay, you're having a private conversation, okay, with somebody, and you know, Again, a private conversation with somebody, a friend, loved one, whoever, you know, and they say, "Hey, so you own that trust?" I would personally don't even say you own it. Just say you're a beneficiary. That's right. Never say you own it. Never say you own nothing. Say, no, I don't own this. I'm just a beneficiary. So even in private, hey, I'm just a beneficiary. That's how come I can live in this house. I'm the beneficiary. Which you're not lying. You are. Okay? Lawyers, judges, that's how they live. Everything is in a trust. You look up any judge right now, any high powered lawyer, you're not going to find where they live. You have to follow them or something like that to find out where they live. You can't just type in their name, oh, they live so and so and so. Okay? It's in a trust. All right? Now you go to court, you don't even say you're a beneficiary. You say you're a trustee. That's it. My name is on there like that as a trustee because that's what I am. They're going to say, have a great day, Miss Anne. Miss Annie. That's what they're going to say. Remember what the trust documents say. It can only be revealed if there's a law. Is basically if the law is laid down. Basically, they have to have a warrant. They have to have an excellent reason for those trust documents to be revealed. And who's the beneficiary? Remember, that's what it says in there, right? So and remember it says it's a contract between a trustee and the beneficiaries, and a trustee can never divulge who the beneficiaries are. Remember, it says that in there. So no judge can force you. That's like a marriage. The trustee and the beneficiary, that's a marriage. And what happened in a marriage? The husband cannot testify against the wife, and the wife cannot testify against the husband. They cannot force them to testify against each other. Remember? That's a marriage. When you got a trustee and beneficiary, or trustees and beneficiaries, however it is, that is a marriage. That is a contract. And on top of it, that's how judges, lawyers, all of them set their life up. So they're not gonna go against that. If there ever a case comes up and a judge just say, tell me who the beneficiaries are, because I say so, that's gonna be case law. That's gonna become case law. And now every lawyer can argue, well, that happened in this case. And now they're gonna have to use that case law, and no judge anywhere is gonna force somebody to give up the beneficiaries. It's illegal. It's illegal. Yes, it is illegal. Just like a husband forcing a husband to testify against his wife, forcing a wife to testify against her husband. It is illegal. It is illegal. So you never even say you're the owner. Not even in private. You are only the beneficiary. Why? You might be privately talking to somebody and say, yeah, I'm the owner. That person might turn around and want to stab you in the back one day. And now you done told them you the owner. Now they might have recorded the conversation and be able to admit that in court. And now the judge could get a warrant because you just admitted you're the owner. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Michael Jackson estate. Everybody know what's his daughter named Paris and his son. They're the beneficiaries, right? Which is the real owners, right? But they cannot be dragged in court if there's a trustee. And a trustee say, hey, I'm just a trustee. Because really, truly, the reason why is at the end of the day, it's obvious they're the owners, the beneficiaries, but we really don't know. We really don't know. because we nobody has seen the trust documents, because the trust documents are private documents. Okay. And if somebody really wanted to sue them, somebody break their leg at Never Neverland or whatever Michael Jackson properties, I'm just gonna sue that trust. I'm gonna sue them because I know they the owner. By the time you get to court, man, they done switch that trust around so many times. Only thing gonna be in that trust is probably a cat or a dog. Because that happened when somebody tried to sue the Kennedy family because I think the dog or some animal bit them. By the time that thing went to court, that person won. Guess what they won? The dog. I'm telling you. Because privately, we could switch that trust around any way we want. That's why lawyers see things in a trust. They're like, listen, we don't want to go after these people. We don't want anything in a trust. Lawyers is not going after. You got to have long money. The lawyer's going to tell you, listen, you need to go have a conversation with your bank account before we go after these people. Anytime lawyers see anything with a trust, they know they're dealing with somebody savvy. Okay? They know they're dealing with somebody savvy. The reason why a lot of these people cannot be sued, you're like, damn, how come so-and-so did this and did that and they can't be sued? Or they get sued and they don't have to pay anything because everything is in a trust. They really don't own anything.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
Regarding the trust, when what you just said about switching things around. Mm-hmm. Now, isn't the trust notarized? And then during it being notarized, there is a date along with the stamp?
Yeah. All you do, you make a new one, notarize that one. Now the old one is obsolete.
But depending on the date of argument, I'll say the date that everything came up, wouldn't they see that there's a newer date versus, you know what I'm saying? So that case was dragging on for a year.
That won't matter. It won't matter. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like, say you married to one man, okay, and you in a court battle, right? You're in a court battle. What's to stop you from, you're in a 2-3 year court battle, even 2-3 months, right? What's to stop you from divorcing that man and marrying another man? That's your personal business. Yeah, you still in that court battle, but by the time you divorce that man, okay, let's make this example. You married to a man and together y'all worth like 10 million. And somebody say, yeah, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna sue the both of them. I'm gonna get me some of that 10 million, right? So you and your husband say, honey, listen, let's get a divorce, right? Or actually, it's gonna go down like this. One of y'all did something and they're gonna sue one of y'all, right? The lawsuit isn't only in one of y'all name, right? Or even if it's both of y'all, right? We're gonna get a divorce, right? So you divorce on paper, right? In that divorce, pretty much you done scattered your wealth. You gave your son 5 million, your daughter 5 million. Now on paper, you worth 0, your husband worth 0. During the whole court thing, right? You go remarry and you marry a guy that he's broke. By the time that person win that lawsuit, how much money they gonna get? Nothing, because you don't have anything. Oh, but before I sued them, they had all this money. Well, sir, ma'am, they don't have it now. I don't know if that makes sense. And yeah, that's a real thing. See, when you sue somebody, the judge has to, okay, what happens when y'all watch TV and people go to court? Like some drug dealer or anybody, they go to court. What's the first thing the judge say to do? Seize their bank account. Seize it. Seize their what? Assets. Why? So they don't disperse it. If the first thing before the judge even issue a bond, watch now when y'all watch TV, watch and see. Before the judge even issue a bond, what the first thing the judge say? Well, there are flight risks, no flights, seize their bank accounts and all assets. Okay, now I give you a bond. Y'all be seeing that on TV, right? That's the only way. If the judge don't seize them assets, by the time that person get out of court, they done dispersed it everything. 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 Okay? Get them about a week or 24 hours. They done gave their son this million, their daughter that million, that charity that million, that one, that house, everything gone. Time they go back to court, I don't know anything. You didn't seize their assets. That makes sense? You want me to expound more? Miss Annie?
No, that makes sense. The only thing is, I'm still concerned. If you got some sophisticated lawyer on the other side,
mm-hmm.
and they call, you know what I'm saying? They know how to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And again, back to that date and the fact that your document has been notarized.
Mm-hmm.
And to get that notary taking a chance to make sure that you're telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? When they notarize your paperwork.
Okay, put it like,
to be a notary.
Okay, put it like this.
You know,
put it like this. Remember what I told you. Your trust documents are what? Private. Are they filed in the court systems? No. It's private. The only thing that's shown in the system is what? The trustee's name. That's it. That's the only thing shown. The actual trust documents, nobody knows its contents.
So they don't know the date.
They don't know the date, the hour, the time, and nothing that's in it.
Okay.
All they know,
that answers my question.
All they know is that's a trustee, this is a trust, and that trust owns this piece of land or that bank account.
Okay, that answers my question.
They don't know who the beneficiaries are. So by the time they open that trust documents, they found out you're not the beneficiary. So what is it's a date that came up after the lawsuit. That's the date. That's the date. Okay. No matter how sophisticated the lawyer is, guess what? Because the lawyers themselves do this. They the ones invented this whole trust system to protect their own self. How you think this came about? Lawyers and judges. The super rich. We're only doing what they do. This is their system. This is their whole trust system and all this type of stuff. Only doing what they do. We didn't come up with this. A bunch of poor people wasn't sitting around thinking about this, doing this. We just doing what they do. But yeah, that is why. But see, if it ever get to that level and you have all this money and all of that, you don't even have anything in your name. So when they say seize all their assets and all of that, rich people not even worried about that. They're like, I don't have any assets. What are you talking about? Seize this and that. Go ahead. Because their whole life is a trust, isn't a trust. They get, a check every now and then. You heard of trust fund babies. They get a check every now. Oh, what you gonna seize my check? Go ahead. I get $1,000 a month. That car I drive, I'm borrowing it from the estate. That's how that go. That is how that go. It's complicated, but it's easy. When I say it's complicated, It's really for just our minds to, because our mind is so easy. Sometimes things could be so easy that we make it complicated. And it's like, dang, nah, that gotta be a scam. No, it's not. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. It's not complicated. It's just that simple and that easy. It is just that simple and that easy. You see people suing a bunch of lawyers and judges and winning? No. First of all, you got to find they assets. Yeah. You have to find their assets and prove they own it. And you'll never do it. You will never do it. You will never do it. When you watch these court shows and stuff like that, where they suing like celebrities and companies and businesses, or they trying to sue Trump and all of that, that's just a show. That's just a show. Whoever's suing will never win anything. Will never win anything. Okay? Then if they say, hey, let them win something, they go to what? A civil suit. They go to a civil suit. And then when they go to a civil suit, it's pretty much a judgment on that person. And what happens if this person ever come into some money, or they ever actually find this person's money, then you will get it. But that's all. You just get a judgment against you. That's what happened with OJ. That's what happened with OJ. Remember, OJ had his stuff, and then they took it, and he was in a casino or somewhere, and he was trying to get it back, beat somebody up or something to get it back or whatever. Y'all, somebody remind me what happened.
They took his stuff. I can't remember what the legal ramifications were.
I know he went to jail for beating him up. Yeah, he was trying to get it back or something like that. That's all they had got. That's all they had got from OJ was his trophies, his memorabilia, like some physical stuff. I don't think they ever really got any of OJ's money. Not like that, maybe a few dollars, but not no millions and stuff like that. I knew OJ Simpson personally. I worked at the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, Florida in 2004. He had another white Bronco. I was a valet parker. I used to go get it for him. Right? He always gave anybody who went and got it $20. OJ was still living his best life after that major trial. He was not broke at all. He rode around like he was broke. He act broke. But let me tell you, that man was living his best life. He was not broke at all. They did not break him at all. But the most money he spent was on them lawyers. Even the Goldman family, they said it. Like, they didn't get anything. They did not. I think they got something after he died. After he died, they got something. But while that man was living, even while he was in prison, they ain't get nothing. He didn't own anything. It's all in a trust. It's all in a trust. I'm telling you. They see, the rich and powerful, when they sue each other, they know they're not getting anything. They know that. That's why I say they put it on TV for a distraction. It's literally just a distraction for us. They know they're not getting anything. They know they're not getting anything. Let me tell y'all, this TV box is literally crap. Everything you watch on this TV box is lies. And this whole P. Diddy, Puff Daddy crap, a distraction. It's all a distraction. All them people involved, Cassidy, all them people, I don't feel sorry for none of them. You knew what you was doing the whole time you was doing it. Yeah, you was drugs, but you trying to tell me you got with this man and you didn't know, you didn't hear stories of this man, you didn't know what you was getting involved with, the whole R. Kelly stuff. Them parents was pimping their daughters to that man. I don't feel sorry for none of them. I feel bad in a way because it happened to them, and these young girls were basically, what they call it, like they're young girls, so they don't know nothing for the most part. But they parents, okay, they mothers and fathers, okay, no. And you letting your daughter go. Well, I couldn't control. Call the police. Even that's why R. Kelly publicist, the guy with the dreads or long hair, somebody asked him, if that was your daughter, what would you do? That man said, I'd run my car right up in the damn Trump Towers and go kill that man. And then he quit. Look it up. Then he quit. He quit R. Kelly, quit being R. Kelly's publicist. He said it. He said, I'll run my car up in there. It don't make no sense. Your daughter doing all of this for years with this man. Now you want to sue. Make it make sense. Why you wasn't crying while your daughter was getting basically raped? Okay? This TV box is literally just one distraction. Everybody know what R. Kelly been doing for years. Everybody know what Weinstein been doing for years. Everybody know what Puff Daddy been doing for years. Why are they publicizing it on TV now and crying Bloody Mary? I don't know. Only thing I can think of is a distraction. That's the only thing I think of. I don't even know what's going on in these cases. I'm just saying what people tell me. I don't even watch this stuff. It's not making me no money. It's not putting no money in my pocket, and I already know it's just a distraction. None of these people are getting anything. Has anybody heard of anybody getting any money out of R. Kelly? Like any money, like significantly, out of Bill Cosby, out of Weinstein. You're not going to get any money out of Puff Daddy. You're not. The only ones going to win are the lawyers and judges. All these so-called victims, they might get a few dollars, but they're not getting anything significant. They're not. The judges and lawyers is taking all of that. All of that. All of that. Okay? All of that. That's who's winning. That's who's winning. Okay? That's who the system is designed to get the money. The judges and lawyers. Not the victims. Not the victims. Okay? Not the victims ain't getting nothing. If they do, it's a few dollars. I've not heard one victim come out yet say, yeah, I got R. Kelly's publishing, or I got 500,000, I got 100,000. Not one. I haven't heard once. Even when they was accusing Michael Jackson, y'all heard any of them say they got any significant money? None of them.
Except for those record companies.
Who won? The record companies. The record companies.
Now, in this case with Puff Daddy, it's been noted, and I really don't look at TV. I saw on my phone that Kathy, she was paid. He paid her.
Yeah, I think he paid her a few dollars, but it wasn't nothing significant.
No. It's in the millions.
A million?
Research that. It's in like 20, 30 million, something like that.
Oh, wow. Well, I ain't know anything about
it. It's in the millions.
If he did,
I don't know if anyone else read it, but yes, that's what I read.
If she really got that much money, it's because he gave it to her. It's because he gave it to her.
When that video came out, it's when he paid her.
Yeah, it's because he gave it to her. Not because she won anything, because it was to shut her up. That's cause, and see what they do is they'll pay that, and then the person have to sign a gag order, or they, some that they can never say certain things. They can never do it, and
But
that's
she's the main witness that testified.
now she
And this is after
testifying.
the fact.
Now she testifying. So I don't even know how that go, to be honest, because when people when they give up money like that, you have to sign a paper that you'll never, and all them parties and stuff, people had to sign papers. Hey, you'll never discuss what's going on here. That's why only thing people used to say is, hey man, I went to that party and there was some stuff in there, but they never specifically say. They, you notice they'll never because they can't. They sign a paper saying, hey, they can't talk about what was going on up in there. You know, that's how that go. That's how that go. Like I say, sometimes they get money, but they have to sign a paper. They tell you, they say it. What they call it? What that paperwork called again? Uh,
NDA.
NDA. Yeah, somebody put it in there too. Non-disclosure agreement. Yeah. Yeah.
Dragon, I think.
Colette knows.
Dragon, I think when the news is reporting on P. Diddy and everything else, it's to get our mind off of the politics, the economy, the tariffs, the things that are important.
Yeah.
So they want to sidetrack us with this entertainment of P. Diddy, Bill Cosby, and all the other crap.
Yeah, that's all that is. Notice whenever it's something major going on, some foolishness like this pop up. Always. How come why they can't make it all come out one time? Put all of them out there one time. After P. Diddy gonna be somebody else in the next 2, 3, 4 years.
We have to think about who owns the media right now. That's all.
Yeah. Then after that, gonna be somebody else. Yeah. Bring them all out one time. Bring them all out one time. No, they always need a distraction. They always need. Why they publicizing it? I don't know. Everybody know this been going on for years. Who's surprised? Nobody. The only thing we surprised at is a detail, a juicy gossip. That's the only thing. Oh, what? They was doing what? He was doing it how? What? That's the only thing surprises us is the details. But the things that was going on, we already know what was going on. We might not know the details, but everybody know. Nobody surprised. Yeah. So that's why I say it's just a dog and pony show. It just don't pay no attention to that stuff. Only ones win, the record companies, the judges and lawyers. And that's who is designed for it to win. The only way the victims get anything is, like I said, they sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, or the person just say here. But believe me, it's always a non-disclosure agreement. They say it. They tell you. They always say it. Sign a non-disclosure agreement. Always. Always. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That's how that go. That's how that go. They designed this system. They designed a non-disclosure agreement. They designed trust documents. They design all this stuff to protect themselves. Okay? And then we learn about the stuff. We just use it too. That's all. We just use it too. That's all. We just use it too. I'm telling you. That's why all these victims, they come out saying stuff, but it's like they can't really say anything. I mean, they're not getting anything out of saying anything. Because they already took the money, they already signed a non-disclosure agreement, they cannot be prosecuted. I mean, the person can't be prosecuted, really, because what you're saying is hearsay, because you signed a non-disclosure agreement. It's hearsay. It's hearsay. Yeah, that's how that go. This literally just a dog and pony show, literally. I don't even think that man in jail for real. I don't even think that's him they showing on the day. None of that. Everybody know
You're probably right.
Everybody know Weinstein didn't really hang himself. That was a fake. He free
He's off
somewhere.
living good somewhere.
Yeah, everybody know that. You know, it just, you know, that's what it is. I'm telling you. I'm really telling you. Don't watch none of that foolishness. It's all a distraction. Focus on your family, your assets, your land, your wealth building. Everybody in the world that's focused on that stuff is broke. And this is why they stay broke. Everybody that texts me or I see strolling on social media talking about that stuff, I said, dang, that's why you broke. That is why you are broke. You know, you look at people profiles on Facebook, Instagram, everybody talking about that stuff. They broke. In the comments, they broke. Now the ones broadcasting or whatever, they making money off the streams. They talking about that stuff, make, the actual ones with the podcast and stuff talking about it, they making money. But all the people following and gossiping behind that is all broke people. Nobody with money have time to even sit around talking about that stuff. We stroll, see it, look at it, stroll. We don't even comment. We might comment every now and then and keep it moving. We don't even have time for that. That's true. It was wasted time and energy to watch. Yeah, that it's not putting any money in my pocket. We literally don't have time for that. Oh, but the victims. Well, why the victims are just coming out? Okay, they was young, because some of them, I heard they was really young. They literally got them involved in that stuff at 12 and 13 years old and all that type of stuff. I feel so bad for them. But again, I feel bad for those people. But I'm like, where are the mothers and fathers? Where are the parents? The parents should be in prison. The guardians, whoever, should be in prison. Why are they not being prosecuted? If they start prosecuting these mothers and fathers and parents, you will see how quickly this foolishness ends. You will see how quickly people be keeping their daughters and sons in a house, watching their daughters and sons like hawks. You will see, but it'll never happen because they want this stuff to go on. The people that run the world are pedophiles. They're not going to come up with any rule like that so their sons and daughters could stay in the house because the parents got them in the house. But if they start prosecuting parents, your son go out there and shoot somebody, your 12-year-old son go shoot somebody, and if they start prosecuting the mothers and fathers, you'll see how quickly people start hiding their guns and watching their babies. It would change overnight. There'll be some ass whoopings going on. Excuse my French. Seriously. I'd rather go to jail for whooping your ass than go to jail for life because you killed somebody and I got to do the time for you. You will see. That's how they do it in Eastern countries. In other countries, if your son or daughter get caught stealing, your hand gonna get chopped off and your mother and father's hand gonna get chopped off. In the Muslim countries, a jeweler could leave his jewelry store with millions and hundreds of thousands of jewelry wide open, go cross the street to the mosque and pray, and come back and everything be right in there. Nobody touch nothing. Those countries don't play. Go to Dubai and try some foolishness. I promise you. I promise you. You will warn everybody, don't go to Dubai and do any foolishness. I promise you. Them countries don't play. They do not play. Yeah. Go to Dubai and talk about you messing with an under-8. Let R. Kelly or P. Diddy been doing all the stuff they doing in Dubai or one of them Eastern countries. They would only have to do it one time. They would only have to do it one time and let them find authorities over there find out about it. I'm telling you.
They're doing some other stuff over there in Dubai with young women going over there and getting paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to sleep with these guys in Dubai, but it's more like freak offs, basically.
Yeah, they're getting paid to go over there and do freak offs, and it's the super rich people paying these women, mostly black women, to go over there and do that, and they poop and pee on these women. But again, they're getting paid and they signing non-disclosure agreements.
Yes, they are.
Then they're adults, and stuff like that. So, but if you like, underage and that stuff is happening over there, oh man, it ain't happening. And I'm not saying they don't do it. I'm not saying it don't happen over there. I'm not saying that. I'm quite sure it happens over there, but I'm just saying for it to happen and be publicized on TV in a Muslim country, oh no. Nah, they would have been done hung you. Man, you supposed to keep that on the wrap. Oh, you let the world find out about that we doing that over here? Oh no, you got to go. We about to kill you. They not supposed to know what we do. Yeah, if they doing it over there, that's how they gonna handle it. Yeah. But in America, this is how we do. And then we just take you to court. And, we do this whole show for the public. And you're supposed to go to jail. Respect mother who sleeps with the man. Yeah. But yeah, all this stuff, this is what they created. Trust documents, non-disclosure agreements, the court system. This is what they created. We just have to learn how to. It's kind of like this. I'm be honest with y'all. We live in a world where we're supposed to just all be free. It shouldn't even be no money. You're supposed to walk down the street, pick apples, oranges. It shouldn't be all these crazy trees. It should be everything fruit trees and apple trees everywhere. I know because I forget the name of this island. Some of y'all might know. One of my buddies' employees, she's from there. And I'm gonna try to interview her actually. She's from an island. I don't know the name of it. They don't own land in that country. They can't own any land. Anybody know the island I'm talking about? They can't own any land. What they do is they have to go to the government and tell the government, hey, I want to build a house over here on this land. And the government will give them the permit to do it. They'll own their house, but they could never own any land there, right? It's almost supposed to be like that, I think, in theory, we'd all just live among each other. We build a house, whatever we live. We're all supposed to live in harmony, right? But we don't. We live in a system where you have to gather what you sow. You have to reap what you sow. So if you work, you get this money, that's what you get. If you work harder, smarter, you make more money, that's what you get. You buy X amount of land, that's what you get. You buy more land, that's what you get. Whatever you get, you get from your efforts, not from what you are natural born man and woman was given to you by the creator of the balanced universe. You only get what you inherit or you earn, right? So with that being said, the only question we should have is, how do we play this game? That's the only question. Once we get it out of our mind, hey, it's effed up, but it is what it is. We got to play this game, and it's a game. The only question is, how do we play this game? I have the game right here. This is what the game is called, literally. This is the game of life, literally. It's all right here. It is all right here. You don't even have to listen to me. Just play this game right here. You do not have to. What this game? First thing you can do in this game, buy the land. That's the first thing you do. Every time somebody land on your land, they got to pay you rent. Don't let you put a house on that land. You put a house on that land, they got to pay you higher rent. You put a daggone hotel on that land, they got to pay you higher rent. If you own a railroad and you land on that railroad, somebody land on your railroad, they got to pay you higher rent. They even got cards in here for accidentals. They got cards in here if you come into some lottery money. They got every card life could deal you in here. This game is literally the game that should be in every home, and every offspring should know how to play this game. Everybody start off with $1,500. And I think that's how it should go. When you have your baby coming out of high school, you should give them $1,500 and they should know what to do with it. You should give them $1,500 and they should know what to do with it. Or whatever is equivalent to $1,500 right now. Or the most you could give them, I don't care if it's $500. And they should know what to do with it. Again, I didn't say just give it to them. You should give it to them and they should know what to do with it. And notice I said give it to them. Not just like Monopoly. Just like Monopoly. Not throw them out there, say go get a job. But I understand some people don't have $1,500, $5,000 or $500 to give their offspring. So they have to go get a job. If they go get a job, don't take their money from them. A lot of people, they got their babies working and taking their money from them. Do not take their money from them. You should have equipped them well enough for them to know to save their money. Let them get their money, their little coins, and save it. And tell them, what did I teach you for 18 years to do? Go buy you some land, son. Go buy you some land. And anybody land on your land, you charge them $10 a night rent for camping out on your land. This is literally all you have to do is play Monopoly in life. That's all I'm doing. All of y'all know me personally, know that's all I'm doing. I'm just playing Monopoly. I'm buying land. Anybody land on my land, I charge them. I'm putting cabins, tiny houses, whatever. I'm renting out my land. Eventually, I'm going to literally put hotels on my land. Oh, that's all I'm doing. And ever since I started playing Monopoly, I've been winning in life. And yes, I have accidentals. Sometimes things happen. I've been to jail for speeding tickets, and they have a thing in here, go to jail. Okay, what else? This one say electric company. Oh, that's to buy the electric company. Get out of jail free card. You know, that has happened to me. These are all things that can happen to you in life. Monopoly is not just a game of you buy land, life is perfect, you put a house. No, you roll the dices and you pick a card, and that card might be that card. Let me try to find something. That card might be this one. The bank give you $50 in dividends. That happens sometimes. Sometimes you come in to $50, you know, your birthday. Somebody give you $50 for your birthday. You know, you might be driving down the road and your buddy's in a car with drugs, and you go to jail. Ain't got nothing to do with you, but you go to jail. These things happen. All right. This is real life. Everything in here. If you want to know, you know what? You don't even need at the junior high school, after you learn reading, writing, and math, you really just need to learn Monopoly. All that stuff in high school is a waste of time if you ask me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything I do in life only requires me to read and know math. That's all it requires, basic math. Okay? Everything is in here that could happen. Look, a speeding fine. If you pick that, you get a speeding fine, you gotta pay $15. Everything in here about life is in here. Monopoly, not just, you know, you buy land, you win, and da da da. Everything that can happen to you is in this game. I have one of these games in everywhere. I have one in the house, one in my trailer out there, one in my RV, another one in my cabin. Everywhere I go, I got this game right here. Just to remind me. And sometimes I'm playing with people and people beat me. Yeah. As far as the board game. But I have students that have surpassed me. I have students that have surpassed me because they already had money and they just said, man, they just follow my system and they've already surpassed me. I got a student, man, I think I taught that guy for a week. I haven't heard back from him. I never heard back from him. He only hit me up like twice. Hey, man, I bought 2 more. I think he wished me happy Father's Day one time. I never heard back from him again. He just took off. I gave him the information. He took off. Yeah, it's really simple. Everything I'm teaching you guys is really it's really simple. Everything I'm teaching you is just Monopoly. I'm just explaining Monopoly to you. Now, they don't have trust and all that type of stuff in Monopoly, but you know, that's just the backroom stuff y'all need to have set up and know and all that type of stuff. Let me tell you, a lot of stuff that I'm saying, it's not hitting you now. When you're on your deathbed or your family member or something happened, dang, Dragon told me to do this and do that. 30, 40 years from now, when that property you could have bought is 10,000, now you realize it's 100,000 or 1,000,000. You like, dang, I took Dragon class 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. He told me, just buy it. I'm telling you. Rwanda could tell you in Miami, man, 40 years ago, 183rd and 27th Avenue, it's a piece of land over there just sat there. It sat there up until about 5-10 years ago. People just go out there and ride their dirt bikes. My own father could have bought it for $35,000. Never bought it. I think that land went for like $53 million about 5-10 years ago, something like that. Whoever had owned that land, that's what I might be lying. They said 53 million. It might be 3.5 million, but the person that told me, they said, yeah, that's sold for 53 million.
Are you talking about the property where Walmart is and the stadium and all those shopping?
That over there. And then the flea market, 183rd Street, them Chinese people that own it, they sold that for, I think, 80 million. That little thing over there. Yeah. And now over there, they turn that into a mall with Ross, Marshalls, all that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And them Chinese bought that
used to be Woolco back in the 70s, and Ecker Drugs and J.C. Penney's, Grand Union Grocery Store, I think.
Yeah.
And then they turned it into a flea market, and then it just...
Yeah.
They tore it down and rebuilt.
That was just 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Imagine taking $30,000, $40,000, paying the taxes for 30, 40 years and end up with, even if it's 3 million, but you're talking about 50 million, 80 million.
Yeah, yeah. And we had a lot of horses and cows also.
Yeah. Remember all that land in Pembroke Pines, West Miramar? Nobody wanted that stuff. All of a sudden, houses going up everywhere. Everybody scrambling to buy it, can't buy it fast enough. But while it was sitting there, nobody wanted it. While it was sitting there, nobody wanted it. I come to North Carolina, I told all my friends, because I already saw it coming from Miami. I said, dang, this is where Fort Bragg is? And people, I'm looking around, I'm like, I keep seeing the streets getting busier and busier. I'm like, man, I told all my friends in Miami, man, come up here, buy all the stuff up you can. Buy stuff up here. Come on, help me. Let's put our money together, buy it up. A piece of land I could have bought for $10,000. I promise you, there's a whole subdivision they building over there right now. A whole subdivision. A whole subdivision. Everywhere you look, subdivisions. I'm telling you, that little piece of land, you think, man, how long I'm gonna sit on this stuff? It's ugly. Look at all these trees. Somebody gonna come knocking. I'm telling you, give it a year, 30 years. You're gonna be like, thank you, thank God I listened to him. I could have put that in stocks, crypto, whatever. It would have been up and down, craziness, whatever. I'm telling you, land is the only thing. You just gotta wait. It's just a waiting game. But like I say, while you're waiting, you can live on the land. You can rent it out. You can clear it and start a storage business. You don't have to wait. Okay? The thing about stocks and crypto, gold and silver, now you definitely have to wait with that. Then on top of it, it's volatile. It could crash at any second. Then on top of it, you can't live on it. You can't grow food on it. You can't clear it and collect anything. Just to get a $50 dividend check, I think you got to invest $50,000. You know, $5,000, something crazy. That's what I'm telling y'all. Even if you don't reap the benefits, that little $10,000 piece of land you buying now, your offsprings hold on to that for 30, 40 years. That's $1 million, at least $100,000. But that's probably millions. It's probably millions. I'm telling you. Even if it's a residential lot. Look how our mothers and fathers bought their homes for $50,000. Now them same homes 40 years later is worth $500,000, $2 million. It's the same thing. It's just every 30, 40 years. But now I think it's happening sooner. Now it's like every 10, 20 years. I don't think we got to wait 40 years and 60 years. I think next 20 years, 10 years, I'm telling you, it's happening even faster. They really saying by 2030, it's a wrap. Real estate going to be so expensive. But the average income, nobody be able to afford it. You're going to have to come up with some crazy idea, business, or win the lottery or something. They saying athletes won't even be needed. We won't have any more. So everybody thinking that they're just going to play football, basketball. We're going to be watching a whole AI simulation, daggone sports thing of somebody sitting in their house playing a video game. Everybody that play video games right now are going to be the new athletes. They're going to be the new athletes. So now anybody could be an athlete. Anybody. That's what's gonna happen. You think your son, daughter sitting there playing football, basketball on a video game. That's just a game. No, they programming, preparing people. Okay, they ain't gonna be giving out them big checks no more to folks to play football and basketball. That might be an underground thing in the future, where real people playing real football, basketball, boxing. That might be an underground thing. Yeah. AI, everything we're gonna be watching gonna be AI simulated. I don't even know if we're gonna have real actors on TV and actresses. Half the time we watching this stuff on social media, it ain't even a real person. Don't y'all see that as some type of AI? Some of these commercials we watch on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, don't y'all see it's an AI thing? Yeah. Commercials, people getting paid to do commercials. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, when we have self-driving cars, it's a wrap. I'm telling you. They say by 2030, that's 5 years.
They said like 80% of like actors will no longer be needed.
No. Nope. They're gonna put a whole AI, gonna put the whole movie script in there. They're gonna have, don't y'all see how real the AI things look? Don't you see how real they look? They actually look better than real humans. I'm almost liking to watch the AI more than I like watching the real humans. Yeah. That's what's going on. And then we see it clearly and don't like it, but my daughter, my son, they coming up watching this stuff. They're used to it. So it's going to be natural to them. You know what I'm saying? They watching whatever cartoons and stuff and whatever they watch, that's going to be natural to them to see AI actors, actresses, commercials. That's natural for them to say, Alexa, what time is it? Or turn on the TV. We raising them like that. That's why I don't have no Alexa and Siri. I don't be doing all of that. I got my daughter to stop saying, how you press the button and say, no, I said, baby, type it in. Yeah. I'm telling you. But they growing up in a society where, they're gonna be used to all of that. They don't care. They just waiting for us to die off. It's these younger ones that they trying to completely program. That's why we gotta step in and show our babies and grandbabies, no, this is real life. This is how it is. Live off the land. Even us growing up, I never thought or knew how to grow my own food. Now that I'm like doing what I'm doing, I'm like, I can't believe for 30, 40 years I was buying food. Sometimes I can't believe it. 30, 40 years I'm buying food. I work 40 hours a week. Let's say you work 40 hours a week, you make $500. You got to spend $100 on yourself to go buy food. That $100 costs you what? 8 hours of work? Should I rather go out there and do 1 hour of work, planting the seeds and waiting and just watering it and have my own food? Have a bunch of chickens out there. Go get my own eggs, all that type of stuff. Really, us buying food in the store, it's the dumbest thing. It's really, we have allowed these people to brainwash us into buying food. We have allowed them to brainwash us into buying food. Like if we really thought about it, buying food is the dumbest thing. It's dumb enough we be buying bottled water and stuff, little thing for $1, $2. You know, we buying water with syrup in it, call it soda, and Gatorade for $2, $3. It's bad enough we're doing that dumb junk. But we buying apples and oranges and eggs for these ridiculous prices. Then we paying rent. Then we buying houses for paying on them for 30 years, working hard. Then we getting up 3, 4, 5 a.m. coming back home 6, 7, 8 p.m. while our babies being indoctrinated in these schools away from our husbands and wives. Like if y'all really knew y'all was gonna die tomorrow and y'all look back at y'all life, you would be ashamed. God, if I knew I was gonna die tomorrow, I'd have lived my life. I would have just lived my life. Bump that job. I go live my life. Panhandle my whole life. Go across the world. Do it now. I'm telling you. I'm literally. I had posted a video. I don't know if y'all saw it. The girl was like, "F the bills." She's like, "I don't care about these bills no more. I took my bill money and went on vacation." I agree. I 100% agree. This is why I eliminated as many bills as I possibly could. I cut my own hair. Every once in a blue moon, I go to the barber. Okay. I shop at thrift stores and bin stores. I brought this for $20. These $200 boots for $20. I brought these $200 boots for $10 at a thrift store. Okay. I don't have a water bill. We on a well. We got a little light bill here, but we got tenants. Okay. So the bills we do have, it get, how you say, balanced off by income, residual income. So, you know, I buy a little $1, $2 shirts. All my money go towards investments and whatever little fun I do. Play my little lottery tickets. That's my little entertainment. I stay home. I don't bother nobody. I go pick up my daughter. We hang out, you know, hang out with my family. Sometimes I don't even leave the house, leave the property for a whole month. But to go get my daughter, hang out with her, I only go to leave when somebody call me, go do some work. I'm like, bump these bills, man. These bills gonna always be there, always come. I'm not working to pay bills. I'm working to buy assets and have fun. That's what I'm working for. Buy assets and have fun. That is all I'm working for. That is all I'm working for. Whatever bills I have, let my residual income pay that. What I actually work for, to buy more assets, to get more residual income and have fun. I enjoy my money. I actually enjoy my money. You know, I enjoy, you know, my money on what I want to spend my money on. Yeah. And that's how I think we all should be living. But people brainwash, go buy a $300 Gucci belt. Oh, it's our anniversary, honey. Let's go spend $1,000. Run our credit card up on whatever foolishness. Now you gotta pay your credit card back because they told you it's your anniversary. They told you it's your birthday. They told you it's Christmas. They told you it's Valentine's Day. Go run up your credit card. You know what I'm saying? They told you pay this $500 car note. You know, they told you pay this $500 light bill, $100 water bill. Half of this stuff, if you just buy assets, your assets will pay for it. The other half, you don't even need that stuff. You really don't. You really don't. My stomach get just as filled getting a nice home cooked meal. I rather a nice home. I rather a fresh, clean, made from scratch home cooked meal over a daggone $100 plate, $500 plate at the most expensive restaurant. Cause all that crap is some shit that get trucked in off some truck, get unfrozen, okay, and the chef just know how to season and cook it up and whatever and make it taste delicious, but it's processed. It's processed. I'd rather go down here to the farmer's market or grow it myself. Me and my woman stay home, crack them peas, make that flour ourselves, whatever we do, and eat fresh food. I rather that. Not only do I rather that, it's more healthy. If I eat like that versus eating $100 plate every night, if I eat healthy, if I eat, let me say from scratch, fresh food from scratch all my life, and somebody else eat at Red Lobster, Cheesecake Factory, Grand Lux, whatever restaurant every night, who you think gonna live longer? And who you think gonna have health issues? The one that's spending all their money on all that going out to eat food. Yeah. Gonna have all the health issues. Okay? Because you spending that money on the decor, on the going out. That money's not really for the food. I make a better hamburger at home. We all make a better hamburger at home. Okay? Why we go to these restaurants and places to buy a $20 hamburger? Just to go out, just to hang out, just to be out the house. I get it. But we have to realize that's all it is. But for some reason, we've normalized it that that's just how we should eat. Nobody want to cook anymore. Barely know how to cook. I don't know what's gonna happen with these Gen X and Gen Zs. I don't know how they gonna eat. I really don't know. I really don't know how they gonna eat. I really don't know. Because all they know is pizza, McDonald's, Burger King, fast food, going out to eat, Chinese food. Because a lot of my generation don't cook. A lot of my generation X don't cook. So these babies, they don't learn how to cook. They don't know how to cook. Don't know how to wash dishes, nothing. Anyhow, I've been talking. I got y'all up in here late again. Questions, comments. But y'all get what I've been saying about everything is a business. Everything is a business. Whatever bank account you got now in your personal name, that's fine. From now on, anything, everybody should have an EIN number. Everybody. They give us everything we need. We just ignorant of how to use it or that it even exists. An EIN number is free. Let me say that. It's free. It is free. You can have as many as you want. You could not use it. Just because you haven't used it doesn't mean you have to pay any money. A trust is free. You call them to, hey, I want a trust. The only thing you got to pay for is LLCs, S Corp, C Corps, all that type of stuff. Okay? But a trust is free. A sole proprietorship is free. Trust, sole proprietor, I think those two is free. It is free. EIN number is free. Okay? You start off with that. Okay. And you get a bank account and you go get a secured credit card. You get them $100, $500. Say, I want a secured credit card. Every time you swipe, it goes towards that EIN number, that credit. Every time you swipe, you do that for 2 years, you'll build you up by $20,000 in credit. Make sure you pay on it. Okay. You take off from there. I'm telling you, me personally, because I know how the credit system works, I don't really use credit. Okay. I don't really use credit, especially personal credit. I don't use it anymore. Okay. Me personally. Okay. Only because you have to pay it back. This is what people don't realize. When you borrow, you have to pay it back. Okay. I call myself Dragon Manifest for a reason. I believe in manifesting what I need. So if I need $500, I don't believe in going to borrow it unless it's for land. That's the only thing I borrow money for is land. The only thing. I don't believe just because I need $500 to go borrow it or swipe my credit card. I believe I could manifest it. I believe I can manifest it. I practice my affirmations and it never fails. Somebody will call me, hey, come put up this TV, 200. Come do this, 100. Come do this, 500, 1,000. That's what I believe in. Okay. That's why I call myself Dragon Manifest, because I believe in manifestation. I don't believe in credit, but somebody might believe in credit. Okay. Even when I get ready to build, I really, that's another class. We're not going to use credit, not credit per se. We're going to use leverage to build when we build on the lands, because we're going to have the lands paid off. We're going to leverage that land back as collateral and say, hey, the land is worth 20,000, 30,000, 40, 50,000, whatever. Let me borrow that money to build this house. Then I go to a builder. I say, hey, here go to 20, 30,000 down. How much you charge to build a house? Oh, 100,000, 150. Okay, here go 20. That builder is going to build that house. Okay. They're not looking at my credit. They're not looking at the business credit, no credit. They're going to say, oh, what's your credit? What's your business credit? When you savvy, you know how to say, what credit? I'm giving you the land. I'm giving you leverage. I'm giving you 20 grand. What you need credit for? And they're going to say, oh, you one of them, huh? You savvy, huh? Okay, I got you. We go ahead and build it. I'm telling you, I showed y'all a video. When you go to this bank, they say we rather somebody with land than somebody with credit. I keep telling y'all. Okay? But that's another video. I'm going to cut it there tonight. Okay? But for the average person just starting off, I have many EIN numbers. You do need an EIN number, okay? But you use your I use my EIN number for banking. That's what I use it for banking and all that type of stuff. Okay. But I don't use it to build credit per se, but you can. And I do recommend you do it. Just because I don't do it, I'm not going to say for you not to do it. I don't do it because I'm more spiritual and I believe in manifesting. Okay. But somebody else might not be as spiritual and you need to build credit. You need to physically borrow and your mind is halfway in a matrix and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, anytime you borrow, you got to pay it back. That's what people don't realize. People think it's free money. I got $100,000 credit. If you go swipe and whatever, you got to pay it back. Not just 100,000. You got to pay back 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 300,000. I'd rather go manifest 10,000, 20,000, 500, 1,000. Okay, I ain't got to pay it back. I done manifested it. Okay. Anyhow, that's it, guys. Any questions? Any comments? Any questions? Any comments? Well, that's it, guys. That's it for tonight. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Alrighty, peace, family.
All right, everybody.
All right. Love you guys. Okay.
Love you.
That's how we do it. All right. Get in the mastermind. Get in the mastermind. 754-229-0940. Get in the mastermind. It's the realest mastermind you'll ever find. The realest. 754-229-0940. Love you guys.